Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And I'm sorry I'm almost an hour late. But you guys know when there's disarray, sometimes you can't be prompt no longer. And unfortunately, that's what's happening. But nonetheless, Dominican Republic records, May 2026 record, and also the first 5 months of the year record. And that also means residential. That also means cruise ships. That also means airfare passengers to the island. It's a trifecta, ladies and gentlemen. Investors, people that are starting businesses, you may want to pay attention because this is what we've been talking about for quite a few years here in the SSN Nation before it blew up. That's right. So we have a lot of people right here, right now, watching that are vested interest in this because if you were able to buy a one bedroom for $58, $55, $45,000 6 years ago, you might be paying attention now. If you were able to buy a two bedroom for 60 some thousand, you would be paying attention right now. That means your investment dollars may be very, very well done. But nonetheless, let's get into it because thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here on the SSN Nation late night wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right. Thank you so much for being here, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure I want to hear the mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let me know if everybody can hear me loud and clear. I needed to do some checking just to make sure we're on the right channel, just to make sure we're free and clear. But before all that, make sure you share the videos because you never know who's out here looking for information who doesn't even know this information is available. So therefore, you can help out a lot of people, especially, like I said, anybody that's investors, business owners, real estate investors, people who are thinking about moving outside the United States. Well, Dominican Republic could be on the top of someone's list or not. But nonetheless, the idea of no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry, that might interest you. The idea of having a bank account outside the United States, that might interest you. Being able to start a business or buy real estate outside the United States, that may interest some. So stay tuned. We're talking about May 2026 numbers, and we're talking about January through May 30th numbers, 31st numbers. So thank you so much for being here. I want to thank you again. But I have a little pest, flies rolling around or something. So I'm going to throw this at you, this little video real quick. Come on, come on. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to stay too long. So let's get into this, shall we? Because we have a lot to talk about here. And oh, by the way, the lawyer, the preeminent lawyer from the Dominican Republic, Johan Confidante, he will be in the house July 1st, 2026. You don't want to miss it. If you have any questions for a lawyer, it's not going to cost you anything. He's coming here to the house once again. 2026 in effect. July 1st, 2026. Johann Confidante. That's how I pronounce it, ladies and gentlemen, all right? I like the little flair. But nonetheless, he's going to be here. That means you can ask questions. That is invaluable. He does not do this nonsense that most lawyers do. Well, you're going to have to call me for further information or come into my office for whatever. No, he's going to answer your questions truthfully, honestly, and you can answer. You can ask, you can answer, you can ask, you can answer. That's how it works here. Our mics are open. If you want a mic, you want it open, the chat room's open. They're always open. We don't block people unless you want to act a fool. Even then, don't block people. I believe in free speech. No problem. We can engage. No problem. And he's going to be here, so you don't want to miss it. Because he has the latest information, because you do know laws change over time. What was good in 2022 is not going to be good in 2026, most likely. What's good in 2025 might not even be good in 2026. So you guys, again, have an opportunity to have one of the most preeminent lawyers in all of the Dominican Republic in the house answering questions. And by the way, when you guys go to the airport in DR and you land at Punta Cana, if you go to Punta Cana, and when you come out of the airport, if you've been there before, there's like a little circle. That's a little downtown. That's like Punta Cana Village. All right? That's where businesses have their offices. So when next time you're getting on the plane or you're getting ready to leave and you need to go get a lawyer, that's the place. You just pull up the KFC's right there, a little ways down the street. Scotia Bank is there, then another office complex or two down. That's where Johann Confidante's office is. I'm not saying anything other than you better be saying I'm part of the SSN Nation when you see him. We go a long way back. He's always been a great person, a great lawyer, great friend. So again, he's in the house July 1st, 2026. So don't miss it. Mark your calendars. And I'll be throwing out some things on social media now that I have a little free time on my hands. Because while we're out here trying to slay dragons and kicking ass, well, once again, community property states, it makes things kind of messy. So once again, we're going to find out how this all goes down. But you can see on the screen already, we have it up. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, by the way, hold on. I have somebody in the house. Hold on a minute. Let's see. EV Place is here. Another investor is here. In fact, EV Place has property in the DR. So he's vested interest in this. And he's vested here in the SSN Nation. You see that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. And by the way, he brings his tagline, "Good evening, SSN. I hope you are all doing well." That's exactly right. We want everybody to win. That's what we try to do here. A rising tide lifts all boats. And we coming to lift all boats, ladies and gentlemen. We're not stopping until it's done. Now, let's get into it, shall we? I get excited when I start thinking about some things that could be going down. But I'm going to have to digress back to this. And we're going to talk about Larimar. We can, but not right now. Not yet. We got to go through the numbers. I have not read this. I just saw this today. I don't know when it came out. It looks like, it came out today. I was like thinking earlier, I was like, wait a minute, shouldn't the numbers have come out for May? And I just went and I saw it. Now it's June 17th, so it came out today. Dominican Republic welcomes 5.6 million visitors in the first 5 months of 2026. You hear that, all the podcast listeners? You hear this? 5.6 million visitors in the first 5 months of 2026? And the actual number is 5,641,659. David Collado's crowing. He's like, I told you so. All right, we have great news, quite frankly. I'll temper the great part, but I'm just going to say this is great news. That at least there's an uptick, because there could be a downtick. And a downtick and in creating more units is not a good thing. So at least we have a growth pattern. According to this, I'll do it this way. Uh, David Collado, the tourism minister, he's saying out of the total numbers, 4.15 million arrived by air. Okay, that is from January 1st to May 31st. That's up 10.8%. We like 10%. That's cool. We're not mad at 10%. While nearly 1.5 million visitors enter through cruise tourism. That's why some of these locations for the cruise industry, they're going to increase and keep increasing. Remember, this only started out with a few 100,000 annually. Now they're at 1.5 million in the first 5 months. So this is pretty good going right here. And they created another 2 or 3 over the last 5 years. I believe it's 3 cruise ports on the island to actually help this number grow. So that was very good on their part. Now let's get down to the May numbers for air arrivals. It's 744,000. You can see it right here on the screen. 744,045 air arrivals, representing growth of 10.4% compared to May 2025. That's a significant number, is true. Significant increases over previous years. Once again, here's the numbers that we care about. United States and Canada, we need to know those numbers combined. We want to see 60% or better. So here we go. The United States remained the country's largest source market, accounting for 41% of visitors. That's a little down from my count, but it's okay because Canadian citizens rolled in. So we still are above the 60% threshold that we need to maintain and be in 60 to 65% or higher. And so we're within the range. That's a good thing. Argentina, 7%. Colombia, 5%. That's no biggie. We're going to get into this later about some other things. We're going to go to tourism analytics to break it down. Now, this is a good sign as well for all of you who decided to take up on the path of going over to the eastern side of the island where Santo Domingo and Punta Cana. Santo Domingo is southeast and Punta Cana is northeast in the Dominican Republic. Both are on the water. The cities are. So now look, we have air passenger arrivals, tourist, Punta Cana International Airport handled the majority of tourist arrivals, 66% of all air travel, ladies and gentlemen. 66% of 744,000 people for the month of May landed at Punta Cana Airport. That's nearly it probably is 500,000. Is that probably right? It's around 500,000. 125? No. Yeah, 125,000 per week. That's a good number. But we're going to delve deeper into this. And air travelers between January and May. Oh my, that was a 5-month sustainability, 66%. That's very, very good. This is where we want to be. We want to also be in the 60 percentiles for Punta Cana Airport if you actually invested in Punta Cana area. You need that to stay maintained while it increases 10%. So you see where this is going. This is why we have to always have an increase in tourism numbers, because we actually are going to add probably 5% more condos, apartments, places where people can stay. And they're going to add some more hotels, rooms. So therefore, that's going to be more people. So that little 66%, it needs to stay there or increase. Something has to increase, like what's happening right now, about 10%. So that is good. All right. Now, it's followed by Las Americanas. That is Santo Domingo's airport. So that means they were number 2, which makes sense during January through April and even January through May. This all makes sense that they would be 1 and 2. Things change over the course of the next 6 months. But right now, that's 1, 2. Sabao in the middle of the mountain area. That's nice. Puerto Plata airports. Okay. At least they register now. Puerto Plata wasn't even registering anymore. It's like somebody all of a sudden stopped going there. It was crazy. But it's good that they're on the list once again. The Bride of the Atlantic is what Puerto Plata used to be called by the cruise ship industry, and everybody 20, 30, 40 years ago. Just so you know, you don't hear that anymore, do you? I wonder why. Okay, the minister also highlighted strong performance, tourist performance indicators. Hotel occupancy exceeding 79%. Well, see, I'm not excited about that number. I need it to be 85 to 90%, but okay, 79.5, we'll find out. We're going to tourism analytics next. During January through April period, 80% is not that great. That I'm just going to say, I need this to be 85, 86, preferably 90. And the reason I say that is not because of the hotels. The hotels are going to survive. I need that number to be higher, so then therefore there's people, when they're looking for a place to stay, they don't opt in to stay at hotels. If you're an investor that has a real estate property there that you need to rent during high season, I need these guys to be around 90, 95% in reality, because then there's no place to stay. So then people say after that, say, well, I'm going to go stay over here, and it's even cheaper. So that's the combinations that we need. But nonetheless, we like the tourist numbers. We need those to rise. All right, let's go. According to the data, 93% of tourists said they would return to the Dominican Republic, while 60% would recommend the destination to others. This is good signs. So DR, hopefully you guys are out there treating your guests and visitors that come to your country nice, unlike in America. So therefore, I hope you don't start doing that nonsense, because we'll mess up tourism. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go check and see, since I've been ranting and raving for the last 5 to 10 minutes. Let me see what else is going on around here. Okay, I see what's going on. Now, after all that's said and done, let me get over to tourism analytics. Why don't we just do it that way, all right? Let's see what the breakdown is. That's what we have to do. We're investors out here, ladies and gentlemen. And if you invested, you should be paying attention to these numbers. If you haven't had delivery yet, you're hoping that they keep increasing tourism numbers, because every year they keep increasing availability via Airbnb and hotel units, because they keep building. If they would have stopped already, then you would have more than enough people coming to offset the increases in a couple of thousand units a year. A couple of thousand units a year is a lot, because that breaks down to every week a couple of thousand units are available, on top of the 140 to 145,000 units right now. And they're going to cross over into the 155 number at the end of this year. So there's going to be, between hotels and short-term rentals, there's going to be over 150,000 units. So if you don't have but 100, what was that, 744 divided by 4, if you don't have about 125,000, and remember, not everybody comes by themselves. Most of the time I do a 2 factor, so it's 2. So you break that down, now you can easily see 66,000 units. That's all that's being rented by hotel and air. Hotel and short-term rental facilities are sharing only 66,000. Now you're seeing why the hotel is at 79% versus where it should be, because there's not enough tourism. That needs to be over 150,000 tourists 2 times. So it needs to be 300,000 in reality per month. You see where we're going here? So when you say we had whatever the number is going to be this year, I think I put in my numbers for this year at the end of the year, 9.4, what was it? 9.3, 9.4 million. They're on track to go from 8.8, 10% more would get them to 9.6 million. Or even if they got to 9.7 million. But the bad news is they're behind for 2026. They were supposed to have 10.5 to 11 million this year, and next year they're going to need 11 million to 11.5 to 12. They're not going to get there. And that's where the problem comes in. But we still at least love 10% increase. Hopefully it's 20 one of these years. 10% is better than the 1% last year. So that's one of those things, right? So this is a good thing, quite frankly. All right, where's our tourism analytic numbers at? Let's go. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, this must be it right here. Let's go look. Okay. Tourismanalytics.com. You can go over there. We're going to go through hotel numbers right now. All right. I mean, we're going to go through a lot of things. We're going to get actual percentages. We're going to get breakdowns via airports. It's going to be. Hold on. We might be there already. I'm sitting there looking for it. Let's see. Nope. Nope. They didn't update it. This is crazy. That's crazy. They normally get it from these guys. They get theirs from, what do you call it? The One or State One or whatever. Oh, this is a bummer. We don't have the numbers through May. Oh, this is not good. Nope, no May numbers. So we can't even do this. So that means people are going to have to wait for the video to come out when I actually do the one that's going to be on just a regular channel. Yeah, right now we were at 86.5%. This was healthy. We love 86% for January, February, and March. All I can say is he said he got 79 point, so that means they probably got 79.5, which means it dropped dramatically. But this only runs through March. This doesn't even have April on here. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. This they can't be this far behind. These guys have not been like this in the past. Sure enough, they have not updated at all. And it's, wow. I just took it for granted that these guys had the numbers. Well, we got to short circuit this. So anyhow, let me know what you guys think out here, because once again, the records are happening. And I did mention by default, because, you know, Larimar is the thing. I was talking about Larimar a week or two back where I said they might be doing something with their deal with people who have purchased there and they did not get their delivery in September 2025 or December 2025 or March 2026. And there's a lot of people who stopped paying. And I was asking about an addendum to my contract, because they said that as long as people didn't pay, that was fine. But when it came time for delivery, then if you paid off your property and bought it like you're supposed to, they'll waive the fees. So I said that would be nice if you add an addendum saying that. Well, as you guys know, I have to be fully transparent. You guys know I stopped making payments like January 2024 or February or March. All I know is it was during that music festival stuff. So I just don't remember exactly what it was until I get back to where I need to be. But all I'm saying is, this is interesting. All I'm saying is, if they add the addendum, then I'll let you guys know, because I know there's several of you who may be watching that bought at Larimar and you thought you might have thrown your money away. When in fact, Larimar might end up being stand up about it and say, hey, we were late. We're not going to penalize you, but also we'll give you an opportunity to buy it, as we said, at that price. So that would be significant. I can't, I got to call it like I see it. I call it fair. And I would have to give them big kudos if they decided to finally come correct on some front. So we'll find out how it all turns out. Because there's still a lot of people, and I still am one of those people that they're still saying December 2026, just like they said September and December and March and June 2026, right? We all knew that wasn't going to happen. It's not going to happen 5 months from now either, 6 months from now. Like the building's not going to be done. And again, you guys, this is not rocket science. How it works though, in almost every location in the world, there's rarely a place in a jurisdiction that's going to say to a developer, hey man, you said you're going to build 200 units, so here's titles for 200 units, before they come out and count the number of units. And they never count the units until it's built. So each building has not been built yet. So in DR, it takes a year to year and a half to transfer title. So this thing about being able to have it delivered in December of 2026, December of 2027, is slim to none. If they even deliver and have their building finished by December 31st, well, that won't matter because that'll be another year. But if they got it December 1st, let's say, finished, The odds of them being able to get title to the property and then put title in your name to your unit, because they have to subdivide it. They're going to have to get titles for every unit. So unless there's some new magical thing going on in the DR, there is no way they can deliver at the end of this year. And even if they did make everything built where they can count the units built, they all each have their meters, because you're going to be paying your own electric, right? And gas and all that stuff. No gas, water. So again, that's why I have my point of view. If they had the buildings completely wrapped up and was able to get everything done in December, the 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 option or the opportunity to have it finished or title transferred by December 2027 is even slim. So this is why I always told people, wake me up in 2028. All right? But if they do that addendum, then nobody's going to care, because everybody who stopped paying is just going to sit here and say, okay, we'll see how fast they go, just like me. I'll be like, okay, I think it's time to start paying, because quite frankly, it's 0% interest right now. So you do want to pay it off if you can, right? Why get a mortgage? Even those people who had delivery for 2025, you're going to have an opportunity. You can start maybe making payments in the next month or two or five or six, because those payments go against the full balance. If you have to finance something, you're going to be paying interest for the remaining balance. So this is what I'm looking at myself, just so you guys understand. I'm just looking for them getting closer to finish, because then that means, okay, now I might want to start dumping some money over here, because now I know they're closer to finish. I'm not sitting here with the stock market going up damn near 20% every year while these guys are making my money lose money due to inflation. They don't understand investors are in this house, ladies and gentlemen. So therefore, we look at things totally different. But I have other issues as well. I just got to say it like it is, right? I have other issues as well. All right, let's go. It looks like Instagram back to doing what they do. We shut down. I see how they working. All right, it's okay, ladies and gentlemen. We're good. All right, let's go. What do we got? EV place. More tourists mean more potential investors who will leave their money so developers can finally finish their current projects and deliver our delayed properties. I don't know. That's a sketchy one. The reason why I say that is because there's the problem with that is this all started in 2018. There's people who bought something in 2018, 2019 who still doesn't have delivery of their units. Some people don't even have, they're not getting a delivery, period. All them tens of thousands of people have told their family, friends, and relatives who were going to buy, told them not to. So you're stunning the growth. And any other problems that's occurred all that time, all the people, just like me, my friends go, hey man, what happened to that property that you were buying in DR in 2020? And I'm like, it's still not delivered yet. They're like, what? What are you talking about? I said, yeah, but that's not even the thing. I backed out of that property, and that property is still not delivered yet. And then I backed out of another property, still not delivered yet. And the other two properties, or the second property was a 2021 property, still not delivered yet. So then I purchased the 2023 property, which was supposed to be delivered in 2025. Still not delivered yet. That's what I have to tell my friends. After I was telling them, hey man, you should join me in the DR. Check this out. This is only $100,000. This is only 80 grand. And that's where the problem comes in, because there's way too many problems, and that's what stopped people from buying. And they have a bad reputation. That's why there's hardly anybody that markets DR. That's why, like it used to be. It was a frenzy in 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23. It was a frenzy over there. Everybody was a realtor. Everybody worked for a broker. Everybody was selling this stuff. And then things started happening that weren't getting done. The government didn't do anything. And so this is why, even with the uptick in tourism, we're not going to have a difference with the occupancy on the island. The occupancy on the island last year, just so everybody knows, I call it 34%. Well, there's a reason I call it 34%. All right, I'm trying to think of the name of the company because I can't remember I got a bunch of names in my head. So anyhow, all you have to do is go to airroi.com. Airroi.com. Just go look. It tracks short-term rentals, most mainly Airbnb. It'll tell you the occupancy rates of these short-term rentals. You're not going to like a whole bunch of them, and you can't be a sugarcoating. You'll see like one person, two people, it'll say 85%. But you then go take away the two people and go to the next five people, and all of a sudden you'll see stuff like 40%, 10%, 3%, 8%. So the island overall gets only 34% occupancy rates for short-term rentals. And there's a reason. It's exactly for the reason I mentioned before, and that is if you only have 125,000 people, let's say 150,000 people coming through the airports per week, but not everybody's single. I count it as two people, and it could be 2.3, it could be 2.4. I just don't know what it is. But if it's two people on average, that means it's 75,000, and that means automatically that's 50% occupancy rate straight out the bat. Because 150, actually it's worse than that, but it's 155,000 units, 56,000 units between hotels and Airbnbs. And I haven't even checked how many hotels have been delivered in the last 8 months, which there were supposed to be hotels delivered at the end of 2025, and there's supposed to have been a couple that opened up the first 5 months this year. They've already added like another 600 to 1,200 more rooms. So when we only have 66,000 or 75,000, that's 50%. If some people are with families, but here's the worst part. So if you know the total number, we can do something right now. If we know occupancy rate is, let's say 80, I'll make it easy. It's not 80, but let's say it's 83%. So we know then that 75% or the 75,000 people, 83% of those people are going to the hotel. So you guys can do the math. In fact, I'll do it right now because we're doing investment talk right now, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here you go. Here you go. So this is why you guys were looking at me going like 34%. What the heck's he talking about? That's the average? Yeah. So here's the thing. This is how I figure things out myself. So 75,000. That's what we have total, right? And we go times 80. And in fact, I'll just leave it 85, even though I know it has to come down because it was around 79.5 or 79.7. But it was 85.5. So it has to have dropped, right? Well, so we'll just still use 85. It doesn't really matter because I'm going to show you why it doesn't matter, because the numbers don't lie. So if you use 85%, that means 63,750 couples went to the hotels that they're counting on tourism analytics. That only leaves 12,000, ladies and gentlemen. So that 12,000 goes against 50-some thousand. So now you understand why all of a sudden the numbers, you're like 34%. Yes, it's going to be 34% because we don't know what the real number is. It could be 1.5 people, which would therefore increase more people to stay at short-term rentals. But we got 50-some thousand short-term rentals in the DR. That's 50-some thousand every week that could be available because if you don't know this, it used to be the average day in DR, the average stay per people or couple or person was 8.1 days back in 2020 and 2021, things like that. Now it's down to 7. So it's a week. So that even doesn't even leave the overage anymore. So that's why we have to be careful when you're an investor, and that's why the rate is 34%. You can easily see why, right? Okay, let's go. All right, let's go. Let's see here. The American dream has ended. If 0.01% of Americans decide they need a plan B, the main direction might be the D. DR, that is, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly right. Exactly. Exactly, because here's what's going to happen with the DR. I think this, I'm pretty sure this is what's going to happen. So they're already delivering units right now that are sitting empty. People are trying to sell them. They're trying to off them. Like right now, I saw somebody sent me something for the beach. It said 118,000. I'm pretty sure that was for the one bedroom. The one bedroom originally sold for 98, no, not 89 or 92 or something. I can't really remember right now. But they raised it 5,000 every phase that they finished. So some people paid 90, other people paid 110, 105, 125. And to have somebody selling a one bedroom there for 118, that seems to be a pretty good deal to me. Because if you go to Los Corrales El Cordecito, in 2024, they were selling one bedrooms there for 125 to 170. Yes, they have higher occupancy rate there because that's where the tourism hub is in the DR. I mean, in Punta Cana, that is. And so there's where things started getting kind of wiggy. I was like 170 for a one bedroom when they were sold for 59 to 89 grand. That's crazy. There's not enough tourism numbers to justify that if you're buying it to rent it out. You're not going to be able to rent for 170 a night. Not going to happen, not just for a regular one bedroom. If you have a penthouse unit, then maybe you might have a little cachet. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to be doing anything with a one bedroom regular on the second floor. I mean, ain't going to happen. You're not getting 170. You're not even going to get probably 150 a night. So if you bought something for over, even if you bought for 125, you're at risk even in the highest resort area in Punta Cana that people go, Los Corrales, El Cordecito. And now you have a ton of people who purchased at 170 for a one bedroom. And they cannot rent for $1,100 per week because you guys can go to Airbnb right now and see that. They weren't even able to do that in the last 5 months. So I'll pull it up for you just so I can have the naysayers going, no, no, no. But it's okay. There's always naysayers. They always doubt, which no problem. You should have doubt. You should have somebody prove something to you. You shouldn't just take my word for it. You should just be like, hold on, Eric, show me. That's what we like, right? Show me. We're not going to believe your numbers. Hold on, what's going on? Okay, hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to. Oh, my keyboard. I did something to it because it's not working. All right. By the way, let's get some of this right here. Zucchini. Lemon. Hey, good for your liver, good for your diet, good for all that stuff. Flushes you out. I'm just saying, health is wealth, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get to this shortly. But while I'm in the background getting to this, let me get to. Oh, wait a minute. We're already in. Wait. Oh, my. They already have dates in here for me. July 3rd through the 10th. Oh, I should just show you guys. Check this out. I didn't even put anything in. And because this is what we do, Airbnb automatically took me to Punta Cana. I don't even have to put in any dates because apparently this is probably what we did before a few months ago. Yeah, we put in July 3rd through the 10th probably a few months ago while I was showing people how much the prices were. You guys aren't going to like this. All you people who bought stuff. Look at this right here. This is Christopher. $290 for 7 nights. Oh my. That's not good. That's Christopher. This right here, this is Los Corrales. That's Coral Village right here. 408 for 7 nights. And some people bought those for $125,000 for a one bedroom. And higher for the two bedrooms. When they first came out, they were 89, I believe, or 99. Oh, yeah, 99 fully furnished. They can't even get $100 per night right now. Do you see where this goes? Even the people that had the best advantage, 2020, 2019 purchase prices, unless somebody's bought theirs for 79,000, they're the only ones that could possibly be happy, because that is what equals about $408 for 7 nights. 60, what is that? 60 something. It's not even 60, it's under $60. Jesus. That's like 50 some dollars per night. But 280 is crazy. Look at this. You guys see this? Hold on, let me check my screen. Do I have this up? I do have it up. Hold on, let me do the full screen. You guys see these prices down there? This is July 3rd, which is a holiday in America. Usually people go out of the country. Look at this. Oh, this is Christopher too. That's 314,000 for 7. Christopher's in Pueblo Bavaro area. It's an area that they're doing gentrification. So this is going to be a win for somebody later. But unfortunately, it's not even a win for these guys, because Christopher raised their prices 30% on buyers. That's right, 30% after they bought the units in 2019. Then when they got delivery in 2023-ish, I think, or 2024, the developer, who people who had like a $40,000 one bedroom, all of a sudden it's 59, 55. People who had a two bedroom for 58,000, now they have to give them 67, 70 grand. The people who had three bedrooms that bought theirs for 60 or 70 grand, they said we need 90 something thousand. Yeah, lawsuits ensued and all this, but you can see right now that's 20, what is that, 30, 40, 45, 43 bucks a night or something. They did not buy them. Well, some people might have bought theirs for 45 to 48, but damn, that's crazy right now. All right, I'm going to stay on this since they already have us hooked up. Look here, ladies and gentlemen. How many of these do you see above 500? Look at this. This is all over Punta Cana. Look at here. We got one for 563 finally. 606 finally. Looks like it's by the water, in fact. That's a shame. Not even 100 a night by the water. Hold on. Let me go check this out. Maybe it's just an illusion and I'm looking at the blue sky. Maybe this is not by the water. This would be insane. If this is by the water and they're only charging, what is that, $80 a night? That's crazy. Let's see what happens. All right, let me know what you guys think, because this you can't escape. This is what I was fearful of, is because now what are people going to do when it's not high season? Where are we at? Hold on a second. Oh, I see. They opened up another window, so I'll just let that cure over in the background. 539, and I'm not familiar with this spot. Christopher again, obviously. This right here is where Joe Nay stays. I recognize that, and they're in Pueblo Bavaro, so that's not cool. 300, Jesus, 300 for a week. Here we go. This looks like Vista Cana. Yes, it is Vista Cana. Not even they are charging 100 per night. 665. Oh, by the way, that's all in pricing now. So whatever the taxes and all this stuff, it's all included. So this is all included. And some people, when you don't get the full price right here, so you automatically take off 3%. All right. So it's not much. I mean, it's only like 20 bucks or something, but still, you're not getting 665 even. You're getting 645-ish. But it is what it is. Look at this right here. On the water, 640. Does this sound like that the tourism numbers, the all-time record-breaking high tourism numbers, is helping the short-term rental market? You knew it wasn't. The numbers don't lie, ladies and gentlemen, and not everybody comes by themselves. That is the problem right there. This is I can't even believe this. This is on the water. I don't know what property this is either, but Jesus, 640. Oh, it's 6 nights for 640, so they're getting at least $100. But you know they didn't spend $100,000 for a property on the beach. Come on, let's get real. All right, let's see where this is. Oh no, this is Cap Cana. That is water in the background. This is the high pollutant area, and they're not even charging $100 per night. What the hell? And you know how much people had to pay for a one bedroom over there? If it was, well, in the last 2 or 3 years, they're 200 and some odd $1,000. By the way, if you're new here, we have a rule. This is investors' rule, basically. I have a rule. This is my rule. This is what I've always invested by. I go 0.1% of my purchase price. So if I purchase something for $235,000, that means I have to be able to rent it for $235 per night. And the fact that I cannot rent this for $235 per night, clearly, I can't even rent this for frickin' $90 a night. Is that what we're doing out here? This is in Cap Cana, the five-star place. How is this possible right now? Wow. 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 They might have, one of the better occupancy rates because they have a low ass price. I'm not mad at them, but I know they did not buy this place for 60 some $1,000. Not in Cap Cana, they didn't. That is travesty. Oh, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. You don't even see it. Look. Look at this. King bed, 60. This might even be a studio. But it does not matter. They did not buy this for 60, 70, 80 grand. The cheapest, well, I know this they couldn't have. The cheapest place that you could have bought would have been nowhere near the marina, in this back section in Cap Cana that you have to drive to get to the beach. Or you're not, well, I wouldn't even say you're walking in 5 minutes. You got to take a little longer. But those were the ones that cost $99,000 in 2020. That's the only time you could have been under $100 per night. And even right now, they're not getting $100 per night. At this, I think this is oh no, it's a one bedroom. Oh my. Oh my. Wow. 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 This is a shocker to me right now. We have our man post retirement travel that has purchased a property. He bought a condo in here. This is not good. This is really, really not good. They're building some more of these. Let's see if we can find out a little bit more. Let's see what they got going on. I can't really tell, but they're that doesn't say where they are. Notice they don't say where they are. That's funny. Oh, oh, they might have. Okay, cool. This is they're showing there. Okay, notice what they got. They got the right stuff on their counters. Although some of that, I'm not a fan of the greenery, the fake greenery. I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of. Again, ladies and gentlemen, keep your counters clear as best as possible. Oh, it looks like they have a little lounge area for everybody. That's cool. I don't know this place. Actually, I think I do. I think this was. Yeah, this might be in that place that I was referring to. I thought this was going to be closer to where Cap Cana, Marina area, but I don't think so. Yeah, I think I was going to buy somewhere in this area. That's why I know about it. It's nowhere near the beach. It was cheap. It was 99,000 for a one bedroom. But then when I drove out there and drove to the backside, I was like, well, where's the beach at? And they're like, oh, we're going to go there after this. And then when we took off and we went a fourth of a mile and then we went past some golf courses, then I was like, well, I'm not walking from there and I'm probably not going to ride a bike from there to the beach either. That's how far it was. I was like, nah, I don't think so. This don't work. It was cheap, 99 grand. That's what it looks like. El Dorado Water Park, who cares? You got to pay to get in. It's not like it's an amenity. Like if you're at Vista Cana, they don't have a water park at Vista Cana, but they have man-made beaches just like they do. They have restaurant, bars, and all that. Just don't have the water park. It should have been included, but no, you got to pay. That's why I'm not interested. Cap Cana's Seascape Park, but you pay. Juanillo Beach. Oh, they added a little boardwalk. Cool. So boats can pop up and stay. Cool. Yeah. This is again, I'm not a fan of none of this. This place looks nice though. I got to give him credit. It's nice. It's very nice. But charging people like 606, $90 per night, I'm not a fan. That's pretty cheap because I had to buy it for more than that. But hey, it's still available. And if nobody got their flight yet, which is another thing, if nobody got their flight yet, I doubt if anybody's coming. It's going to be hard to fill that space. All right, let me know what you guys think about this. This is not good. Blue Marlin. Blue Marlin, he says. All right, EV Place says, let's go check some things. Let's go look. It's going to be available. Oh, you're saying one of these things was Blue Marlin. I'm hoping that's what you're saying. But you know what we're going to do? We're actually going to put in some. We're going to do it a different way. Yeah, we're going to actually go. We're actually going to go somewhere else. Why can't I? Yeah, we're going to do this because I want to search differently so we have a map. All right. All right, this is Central Park. Oh, look at this. This is sad. Central Park is downtown. 7 nights for $250. Okay, just so everybody understands. Oh my goodness. Look at the map, ladies and gentlemen. This is for a week. Holy smokes. This is downtown. You could stay for $250 a night. I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be the studio, but still, who cares? No, this is crazy. Here's a 2-bedroom. Where's this at? Don't know. Again, $479 for 7 nights for a 2-bedroom unit. Ooh, and they have over 1,000 units available for what we're showing right here. This goes to Verón, Pueblo Bávaro, downtown. This does not go to Capcana. This goes to El Cordacito even is included in this search range. Over one, they stop at 1,000. I'm just going to let you guys know. Generally, there's 5,000 units in Las Altagracias. Okay, La Altagracia. That is the province. There's 5. Well, there used to be. It's over 6,000 short-term rentals are just in the Punta Cana area in their province. Just so you guys understand what's happening here. So this is why I was always concerned because, well, we knew this was going to happen. I told people this was going to happen. People said, no, 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 it's not going to happen. I said, it's going to happen. The numbers don't lie. This is why I like math, because numbers don't lie. They tell you the truth. Look at all these places, 330, 468, 343 for a week, ladies and gentlemen. Why would somebody stay at an all-inclusive when you can stay the whole week for $400 or less damn near anywhere on this place in Punta Cana? Why am I going to be spending $700 per night for all-inclusives for a week? Why would I spend that? Why would I spend $4,000? Are we serious right now? I would be taking my happy ass right over here to some $450 per night. I mean, for the week, and keep the $4,000 in my pocket. I mean, do you know what I don't even know how you would spend $4,000. I'm just saying. I don't even know how you would spend $1,000 for the week. Unless, of course, you're taking excursions, and then that would make sense. $99 per person is the excursions and up. So that would make sense. But I don't know how you would eat, drink, and go to clubbing or go to the show or go to dinner in the sky. I don't see how you can even spend $1,000. So accommodations and your place, you spend $1,500. There's grocery stores you can actually go to if you actually cook. And so, I mean, why am I spending $4,000 to go stay at the all-inclusives? I know the all-inclusives have everything. I get it. But you can go to restaurants too. You just might not have to, you're not going to go to the water park, right? But the best thing ever, on Sundays, they have the water park open for $10 for people. Well, they used to anyhow. The one downtown, Caribbean Lake Park. So anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, this is bad. This is crazy. How do you not? It's the whole place. It's under five. This is insane. Okay, Blue Marlin. That means Blue Marlin cannot be any better. It's not even over where these guys are. Blue Marlin's back here somewhere. This is crazy. This is insane pricing right here. 400, 500 for the week. 330, 399, 3. This would be Blue Marlin maybe. Let's go see. 342. This might be Blue Marlin right here. EV Place, let me know because I don't know their. Oh, it is Blue Marlin. We had the party right here, ladies and gentlemen, when they had the first one of this buildings done like 4 years ago. Maybe 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. Might have been 3 years ago. Yeah, that I think that's Blue Marlin right here. 342 for a week. It's a 1 bedroom. Now, remember what we were talking about, the 0.1%. If you bought something, like he bought his pretty cheap, but if it's 60 grand, this is still below 7 times 6 is 420. And then there would be the some tax or whatever. So 420 should have been the number. Well, it should be higher than 420. 420 or higher is what the number should be. The fact that this is 342, yes, they get rentals. There's 38 reviews. And you can't beat 340 bucks, no matter how you slice it for a week. And there's so many places. This better not be on the beach. Unique Bavaro Beach condo for 343 on the beach? Oh my. Are we kidding right now, ladies and gentlemen? This can't be right. This doesn't look, you know what that looks like? That looks like El Dorado. They're lying. It is El Dorado and they're lying. This is not on the beach. El Dorado is close. This is in Bavaro. This is in Los Corrales. It's next to the market, the food market, Chicarello, I think it's called. You walk down to the beach. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes. So that is not quite right. They shouldn't be lying to people with that type of Bavaro Beach. It's not that close. That picture they were showing is not it. Let me see that. That's where it is. And this right here, they're not on the beach. That is not even close. They're not close. It's not 100 feet away. It's maybe 150 yards away, maybe. But it's nowhere near you can just look at the beach from where you're at. They shouldn't even be allowed to show this as their cover. Anyhow, enough about that. That's disgusting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I won't go any further. You can see how cheap it is over there. I paid $400 for 10 days in November at Blue Marlin. Yeah. Blue Marlin, you're gonna pay about that, I believe. See, this is my point about when we have way too many short-term rentals, and we don't have enough tourist numbers. This is why my numbers are different. We needed 10.5 to 11 million this year. We don't need 9.7, 9.6. We need 10.5 like yesterday in order to keep people happy with their short-term rentals. Because now what's going to end up happening, and it's going to be very good for you who haven't invested yet, kind of good, but not good. Because since you haven't invested yet, what's going to end up happening, these are going to go on the market. People are going to sell these because they're going to sit there and go, why am I collecting this little bit of money, having the risk as well, and paying HOA fees, and then having to pay for repair or whatever happens, and I'm not even making any money. And I bought this thing for, let's say, I'll just give an example, $120,000. And I can only rent this for $400 a week, $500 a week. So now I'm not even getting 60% occupancy to make things even kind of right. Occupancy's like 50 or 40. That's going to be a problem. That means I'm paying somebody to stay there. That's going to be a problem. So that's what's ultimately happening right now. And then about this at the end, like starting now, if you go over there, I'm pretty sure you're going to find some for sale signs and people are going to say, just give me what I paid for it. And the problem with that is you're going to look at it and go, well, wait a minute, I'm an SSN Nation member. I know you guys can only rent this for $500 for the week. That means $70 per night, which now means the point zero 0.01 rule means I can only pay 70 grand. But we bought it for 99. See where this goes? So you're going to have a whole bunch of people, they're going to start dropping their price below even what they paid for it because they can't, it's not sustainable. New properties are coming in Los Corrales, El Cordecito as we speak. So they're just increasing the supply, not decreasing the supply. So that's where we go with this, ladies and gentlemen. That's where they go. As soon as they install the elevator, they're going to the market. Yes, you got a great price, EV Place. You have no choice though, because the numbers don't lie. You would be, and remember, some of these places have $100, $150 per month maintenance fees, HOA dues. And then you still have to have your electricity on, and the electricity in the DR, don't play around. That's the most expensive electricity in the world. You could easily spend for a one bedroom, if you stayed in your unit when it's hot like now, for any length of time and had the AC on, you're going to be spending somewhere between $5 to $10 a day. That is $300 a month for a one bedroom split systems. And if you don't know what split systems, that's the ones that you can cut on individually. And they're only like 3 feet wide and a foot deep, roughly. And the good news is you save, but the electrical cost is so expensive that you don't save. If you're in America, you would save because everybody has central heat and air, so you're cool in places that nobody's even sitting in. But the split systems, I'm in a bedroom, I cut it on. I leave the bedroom, I cut it off. Because the air flows so fast that it doesn't really matter. Go to the living room, cut it on. Instead of having a central heat and air and heating unit. So that's one of their benefits. And it's still going to cost. Now, if you have somebody staying at the house while you left for the day, oh, dang. Dang. That's $15 to $20 a day. Your bill's going to be $40, $400, $500. And the other people who did not adhere to what we were saying, you guys said, I'm going to get a jacuzzi or a jacuzzi. You're over there running the pumps. You are not loving life either because you're going to have algae if you don't run your pumps. So what you do is what most people do. Oh, I don't have any renters, so I'm not going to run the pump. Well, guess what happens to your O-rings in your pump? They start getting brittle because you're in a high humidity area. And now all of a sudden your pump stops working sooner than later. And now you got to replace it. See, this is why we told you don't get them jacuzzis on the porch and patios and all that stuff. Just saying. All right, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Solar panels, if I would be living there. Yeah, I know. That's if your HOA allows you to put solar panels on there. And in your case, you have a penthouse. So you more than likely would get approved to put a solar panel. The people that live on the below you, though, they're screwed. They're screwed. They're in there. Could you imagine having a 2 bedroom place and you actually have 3 people or 4 people that live in a 2 bedroom and not everybody works at the same time? So somebody's going to be home in these months of May, June, July, August, September, oof, where it's hot. And there is no way you're sitting in that hot box. There's no way. It heats up very fast. I can't even imagine how much the AC unit, how much it would cost. That would have to be something $500, $600 a month. Eesh. That would be crazy. Or you don't do it at all. Where's the fan at? In fact, where's the beach at? Just turn this off. There's no way. That's crazy. But yeah, EV Place, that's the only way to do it. But hey, there's stories about having solar in DR. SEPM, the energy company, when somebody gets solar, they disconnect them, they still send them a bill based on their usage. And people are like, have you lost your mind? And I'm trying to figure out if I'm somebody, I'm like, hey, SEPM, I'm not paying no more. So I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, hey, sir, your bill is, dude, I'm not paying you. I'm not using it. And they're going to go, well, we're sending you a bill. And then they're going to try and do what they do in America. Oh, we're going to put a lien on the house. You owe us money. I don't know if you can do that though. I'm just saying. I was just being facetious, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying in America that's what they would do. But over in DR, I don't know what they do. But I do know people that have solar. SEPN keeps charging them as if they're using the service, getting their electricity. Yeah, they're not friendly like that. That's what happens when you have a monopoly, and the monopoly can pay the senators, the Congress, the Parliament, whatever they call them. That's what happens, unfortunately. All right, let's go. HOA, they can sue me. It works both ways, Eric. I know. I know. I know that. The HOA will sue you, and the HOA has the upper hand in America, they do. And if they do sue you, then they can do foreclosure in America. I don't know about DR. Just saying. So that's why they can be heavy-handed with people in America. That's why you have the Gestapo, because they're like, "Oh, we're going to write you a ticket for $500 just because we don't like your attitude." You know? And then you don't pay it, they put a lien on your house. You didn't paint your house or paint your house or paint your condo right. Wait, you approved it. What do you mean? You approved the colors. Well, we changed our mind. If you don't get this changed in 30 days, hey, wait a minute. Don't you know it costs like $4,000 to paint a house? This particular color? Because you said I couldn't just do it myself? What the frick are you talking about right now? Well, if you don't get it done in 30 days, you'll have another $500 thing, and then we can try and put a lien on your house. I'm like, what the frick are you guys talking about right now? You wackos. Like, you guys are wackos. Not in DR. Yeah, that's good. That's good, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up. We did this for 1 hour and 7 minutes. Hopefully, you had a little bit of enjoyment with me. And I want to know, did anybody see any trailer today? I'm still trying to figure out if anybody even sees. Does YouTube even allow people to see the trailers anymore? Let me know. I'm going to stay on here for a few more minutes, but I just want to let you guys know when you're investing, you have to be very astute with all information. AirROI.com, you can go a long way. All right? I swear, I can't remember all these things because I have so much going on in my brain, and I just basically just dumped it out. It's called you know what? I don't remember occupancy rates. Hold on, I'll pull it up in a second. Rate in Dominican. No. Republic for short-term rentals. Let's go see. I'm trying to find the exact one because they just tell you straight out. They don't sugarcoat. They just say it's 34% or 31% it was last year. Okay, here we go. Actually, here's the funny part. La Altagracia is 44%, just so you guys know. They're tracking this right now. This is from AirDNA. So now they're saying they want to say it's between 35% and 45%. That's what AirDNA is saying. La Altagracia is 44%. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So if somebody is getting $800 per month for 50% rental, they would be winning. All right? They would be winning. They would be getting $9,000 a year. Whether you bought a studio or a one bedroom, you did not buy it. Well, the odds of somebody having a two bedroom under 100 grand is pretty slim. But if you did, you're lucky and you're making that money. At least you have a way. But you're still under 10% is the problem. And if you were going to throw money at something and say, I'm going to make 7% or 6%, then why didn't you just put it in the stock market with JEPQ? JEPI. Just PSEC. I mean, you could pick a bunch of dividend stocks that earn more than 7-8%. You can pick some real estate investment trust that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15%. So it makes no sense to have a high risk scenario in real estate on some place in the Dominican Republic or outside of the United States unless you're making money. There's no reason to go, well, I got 5% and I'm happy. That's crazy. And by the way, at 35%, you might even be losing money. Like I said, after your HOAs and after you have to pay your monthly fees, you could be at $200 a month. And then at the end of the year, you're just like, dang, I just made $7,000. But I bought this thing for 100, 7%, with a headache, because now if there's any hurricanes or any reason to downturn off of this numbers, you're at risk again. So just saying, ladies and gentlemen, that real estate's no joke. It's pretty simple, but you can't lie to yourself. And unfortunately, some people are still lying to themselves, and they don't really pay attention to the numbers. And in fact, I wish post-retirement travel saw this, because if there's places selling that are renting in Cap Cana, and those places are renting for, I mean, they have to be renting for almost 1,500 for a one bedroom. He's buying a one bedroom for, hold on, let me put this back up. He's buying a one bedroom for 300 and some thousand. And it's high risk, in my opinion. We're going to go look right now since he's not here tonight, but still, this just shows you why you need to pay attention, because it's not going to get any better. There's more and they're not even going to build his until 2029 or 2030. And the others along with, hold on, what's happening here? And the others along with it. Let's go. Okay, hold on here. What are we doing? Let's go down the cup. Yeah, I'm working on this little tiny desk right now. Okay, here we go. You guys can see Juanillo Beach, I hope. You see the map on the right. Let's go. Now, let's go see here. We better not be seeing something like, for the whole week, $700 or nothing. These places cost $200,000-300,000 for a one bedroom. They didn't used to. They used to be like $135 in 2020 when I was going to get one, and people called up. And in fact, it was supposed to be not, but look, you can stay in Cap Cana for under $600 a week. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, July 3rd through the 10th. Look at this, all over, another 626. These things did not cost under 100,000, just so you guys understand. These, and they all cost 135 and up since 2020. A one bedroom was 135. That's why I wanted it, and it might have even had ocean view. And to this day, I don't even know where. I know where it was, but there's nothing on this map that shows it, because it should have been like right here. And there's nothing for rent ever right here. It might be even right here, because we came across the lawn, or yeah, it was like a lawn at the time. And then we crossed here to the parking area. Then we went to Juanillo Beach. But look at this. Can you guys, this is the marina, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know how much things cost in the marina? These are 300-400 G's. This is no joke. And look at this. People are charging less than $100 a night in the marina. One bedrooms in the marina were 2 something. Right now they're 300 and something. This is not good. This is not good. Oh my goodness, this is not good. There is no way. This does not even get anywhere near the 0.1% rule. This gets nowhere near it. Holy Toledo. These are supposed to be 13. These should be like, wow. Wow. These should be like 1,400 a night. 1,300 a night. 1,250 a night at least. These are under, this is crazy. And look how many's available too, it's par for the course, of course, because occupancy is not even 50%. It's 30 some percent on the island. Here goes finally something. Jeez, somebody, but no, they got a view, or maybe. But yeah, they got a view, or somebody's got a view. Oh, wait, we got 2 people that have a view. Look, 849 and 868. Wow. $120. They did not spend 120,000, ladies and gentlemen, to have right here by the water. Come on. This is crazy. Oh, this one for 1125. You walk out, it looks like you're by the water. Okay, but again, all around them is 800 and something. Why would somebody rent this? That doesn't make no sense. It's a one bedroom even. This is problematic. People are out here buying these things for 300 and some thousand right now. You see what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? It's going to be a feeding frenzy for you later. Not right now. We still got about another 2 years. Another 2 years, you're going to be very, very happy if you did not buy, because you didn't buy for 300 and some thousand for a one bedroom. You're probably going to see one bedrooms for people are going to be trying to get rid of them. HOAs are not $50 a month there. And people are really going to be getting rid of them because they don't want to live there after they realize they have to pay for everything. Well, I mean, it's kind of cool to live there. Don't get me wrong. They had the tennis match there. They had some golf matches there. They have the Miami Heat Latin Awards there. So people get to go in that live there. So that's some of the perks, which is kind of cool. That's cool. Then the marina's cool. I mean, everything's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's upscale luxury. It's beautiful. But as far as a short-term rental, I don't believe that's a viable operation being over there. It just doesn't seem like it doesn't have enough free stuff. You have to pay for everything there. So I'm just like, that's not conducive. I might as well just stay at the all-inclusive spot. So that's all I'm trying to say. It's viable when it's high season. It's viable when there's award shows and all that there. But over the long term, from now until the end of the year, I think we're going to see people renting for 100, 120, 130 a night right by the water, as we see right now. On the marina, 900, 120 a night. When they bought these things for $230, $250, $300,000 is insane. That means there should be $300 per night, $250 to $300 per night minimum. All right, enough. That's enough for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Oh, Connor Rock. Forget about it. They have so many units there. People don't even charge $99 per night either. It's like 600 and something. There's nothing else there but condos. So they're in the same boat. They're all. Here's what's funny. Did you notice at Cap Cana they're charging $800 per night? Some people are under that, 700, 686. But the bulk of it's somewhere between 800 to 899, which is cool. But the thing is, here's the funny part. They bought the stuff for a lot more. Whereas at Cana Rock, people were able to buy one bedrooms at $89,000 at one time, at $99,000 at one time. Two bedrooms for $117,000. But there's also some things that, in fact, we'll go there and look right now. Okay, why not? Let's go. Let's go to Cana Rock. There's some people that like, again, I'm not picking on, but post retirement travel. He bought a two bedroom there. He spent $200 and some odd $1,000, but he can't rent for $200,000 a night there. I really doubt they're going to be doing $1,400 a night or $1,300 or $1,500 for the week. I doubt that. It's not going to happen. There's too many condos they built there. This wasn't. Here's what happened at Cana Rock. The worst thing ever. They were saying, "Oh, it's by Hard Rock. It's by Hard Rock." People assumed by default that they would get to use some of the facilities at Hard Rock. Hard Rock said, no, you guys aren't even a part of us. When George's Charles showed up with his family, 4 people, he stayed there thinking, he stayed in somebody's condo, and he thought, they said, oh yeah, you can go use some of this stuff at the Hard Rock. You know what you can use at the Hard Rock? Go to the nightclub, go to the casino, go to 1 or 2 restaurants that you pay for. Then when he went to the door and said, what about the amenities? They go, oh, that'll be $150 a person or $130 a person. He's like, I got a kid. Is this a day? They're like, yeah, that's a day. He's like, wait, $500 a day? He's like, I'm not paying that. Then he goes to the beach. When he gets over to the beach, they said, oh, you got to pay $35 per person. It's a consumption tax. So therefore, if you eat, drink, and be merry here, we're going to use that as part of what you pay. But see, the meals are already $20. The drinks are already $15 to $20. So either you get 2 drinks or you get a meal and a half a drink. I mean, you already spent your consumption fee. So it's like just to go to the beach, they were making people pay. I don't know if that's still the thing. So then at that point, it turned into, why would somebody go stay there? That's crazy. And that's when everything was $99 a night, pretty much. It got bad. Um, Very bad. Here we go right now. In fact, is that it? No, that might not be it. It might. This one right here might be at. It might be. I don't think it is though. Are we there? Are we there? We're not there, right? Yeah, we are there. Yeah, we are there. It's right here. Yeah, that little cluster. That has to be them. That is them. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's them. Yep, that little cluster. That's kind of rock. It's got to be. Let's go see if I'm right. Yeah, so this is kind of rock. 370. 376, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Let's go see. Come on. Why are they hiding? Why are they hiding? Come on, stop hiding. Is this them or not? Okay, maybe not them. Okay, this looks like them. That looks like their pool. 509. Yep, Connor Rock. 509, 7 nights, one bedroom. One bedroom. That's not even 100 a night. Look at this. 376 is them. They got trees out there now. I didn't even recognize it, but that's on the golf course. That's what they're looking at. There's nothing else there. There's a pool, and you got a little snack bar, but now there's nothing to do. There's no retail shopping location. There's no, well, okay, they added a restaurant that's out there, and they added the beach club is still there, but you got to pay $35 to walk through there per person. So this is why this is going according to plan, just like we told everybody. It's not good. There's nothing there. There's no amenities. You got a pool, so what? Every place has a pool. You got a little snack bar, so what? That's not even worth the paper that's written on. But look at this. There's a 9 something, but he's not going to rent that. That's a 2-bedroom. He's not going to rent that. You know why? Look at this. There's a 609. That's a 2-bedroom. Look, this isn't going to happen. This is just too many units. Look at this. 1-bedroom, 449 for the week. 1-bedroom, 509 for the week. 2-bedroom, 576 for the week. So you can see there's no way the 939 2-bedroom is going to get rented. That's not even why would somebody do that? Pay $400 extra for no reason? They don't have any more amenities than you do. They just got a pool and it's by the golf course. Same thing. Everybody in this block has the same thing. A pool, golf course. You're on the golf course and you all both have to pay to get into the Hard Rock and use their amenities, or you use the free ones, or you still got to pay to go to the beach. Only owners can buy a membership, but you can easily see nobody here is doing 1,400, 1,200. There's nobody even doing 1,000 for the week. And people paid right now at Connor Rock, in the Galaxy, in some other locations. They paid $400,000. You heard me correctly. 400. On what planet do you see where somebody can charge $400 per night for a week? You don't see nothing over here over 1,000 for the week, let alone 800 for the week. So how is it do you think somebody's just going to own a 2-bedroom just because they're closer to the Hard Rock, they're going to be able to charge 400 or even 300 a night, or even 200 per night, or even 150 per night? Do you see how this goes, ladies and gentlemen? There's going to be a lot of things for sale over there. There's going to be a lot. So if you are an investor, I would stand by. But it's going to be another 2 years, though, just so you know. All right. Hopefully we got you on the right track. Hopefully some of you will meet us July 1st, 2026. It's a Wednesday for the Wealthy Wednesday. Johan Confidante will be here in the house talking with you, answering questions. He's not hiding. And if you go to DR, he's in downtown Punta Cana Village is his office. Let him know you're from SSN Nation. And I'm pretty sure he's going to give you his WhatsApp number or his office number. So if you need some legal, go see him. He's a great guy. All right. He's part of the SSN Nation by default. So we'll see what happens. Look here. We got Melanie Speaks in the house. Melanie Bonita's in the house. Your Honor, your doctor, whatever. I know you got titles now. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. She's part of the Bankus group as well. So thank you so much for being here. She brings her tagline, Great Evening SSN Nation. And this is one of the favorite taglines of all. Multiple streams to live your dreams. She's the book boss lady. She's also the doctor. She's also everything out here. Doing the damn thing worldwide, ladies and gentlemen. She don't think people be paying attention. I pay attention out here. Go ahead, woman. Do the damn thing. Oh, man. Yeah, she's doing the damn thing, ladies and gentlemen. Nice views. Exactly. I'll wait till they go down. Hey, they're gonna go down. No, it's not sustainable when these people bought these two-bedroom places for 200,000 and they're renting them for less than $75 a night, $80 a night. That's crazy. That's crazy. You're going to be losing money even if you rented them out 60%. And you can't rent them at 60% because there's too many units. And guess what? They're building two more properties out there. Oasis, what they call that one? Okay, forget them guys. Oasis is one of them, and the other one was the Roman one, which I was talking about too. They're going to add another 500 units out there in the next 3 years, on top of the ones right now. And the galaxy still hasn't delivered yet, and all of the universe hasn't been delivered yet, and Riviera something hasn't been delivered yet. They're going to add another 1,000 units out there in the next 2 years. And they're having these type of prices. Imagine if there's another 1,000 units out there. That is insane right now. So yeah, that's not a good investment to be spending 300 grand, 200 grand, 400 grand. I don't care if the unit's a 3-bedroom penthouse. There's no way you're not getting the money. That's crazy. All right, it's still the thing because the beach club or CR can't fill all CR residents. The beach club at Conarock, it's not a thing. There, you either to go to the beach, you got to go through the beach club, and you're paying $35 per person. If you own there, you buy a membership, you don't have to pay. So that's one. Those are the big obstacles of every day. It's not like a week. So now you got a family of 4. You're gonna spend $140 just to go to the beach. That's crazy. Every day. It's not like it's a pass for the week. They're like, you show up tomorrow, another 140. Show up tomorrow, another. I'm like, hold on, man, this is craziness. So basically, you just got a condo. You might as well have bought in Los Corrales, El Cordecito. I mean, at this point, I mean, you can get to the beach for free, and you have restaurant and bars that you can go to, which they only have what, 2, I think, at Conarock. But you can go inside the casino, the nightclub, the and a couple of restaurants inside, but not the all-inclusive side. You don't get any bracelets. You're restricted to a certain area, and so you can go do that. But otherwise, there's no shopping. There's no grocery store. There's no shopping around there either. You're isolated in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you're way up. It's 20 minutes from the airport. I'm no fan of Conarock. I'm a fan of the new, what do they call that place? I'm a fan of the new 2 places they're building. The reason why is because they actually are bringing a mini mart shopping area up there. That's going to be right off when you first come in the entrance to Conarock and to the first street on the left. Those places are going to actually have mini marts in them. So they're people that are staying in their locations, they actually can go get groceries. I mean, and they're going to have a little shopping area there too. So that makes things a lot better. Other than that, there's no shopping right now. You have to leave the premises to go get stuff. And you're so far away from everything, which maybe it's not so far away anymore, but I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. At all. Man. Yes, I love Bankus. That's right. Thank you so much for that. Hopefully you got your card. Let me know. Oh no, the other boss is in the house. Biznessa is here. That's right. Seamless Genius is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Getting some of that SoCal love is here now. Welcome to the SSN Nation late night, wealthy Wednesday night edition. And she brings her tagline this evening. Hey, Boston SSN fam, happy, what day is it? Wealthy Wednesday. Thank you so much for that. Glad to see you guys again. Hey, Biz Nessa, we got two of the baddest women on the planet in the house here in the SSN Nation in one evening. This is an honor. You guys don't know yet, but go check it out. There's an honor here. So therefore, hey, Biz Nessa says Melanie speaks. All right, Melanie speaks. Hey, Queen, how are you? Hope all is well. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, showing some love. That's what I like to see. Well, well, well. This makes me cheer up even better when we have superstars joining us. We already have enough superstars in the house, but adding two more? Oh my. This is a pleasure for sure. This made my evening, quite frankly. So hopefully I'll see you guys on Friday night because I got to pack up and go. We're building an empire, but the empire's on hold. The empire just got a little better. You guys have no idea. I'll just say it this way. Listen to what I'm saying right now. You know, when you're putting something together, we have a lot of entrepreneurs here, right? And you know you're putting something together and you know you're doing the best you can and you figured everything out and you're going, yes, I'm happy with this setup. I think we're going to make money. This is how we're going to do it. And so you get there and you do it, right? You make things and you're getting everything together. And then all of a sudden, because out of the blue, because of circumstance, you had a shutdown. In our case, had a shutdown, can't do nothing. So idle minds, idle hands, you're just like, well, I mean, and you run across something that changes the whole dynamics of what you were doing. And all of a sudden it multiplies it by 10x, 20x. This is what happened today. And I had tears coming down my eyes. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, I'm sitting here like shaking, like, no, this can't be true. No. I'm like, it's a wrap. Ladies and gentlemen, whether it comes out end of this year or whether it comes out next year, I don't really care. There will be some game changing situations going down and the OCs are going to be able to benefit from it. It's going to, I'm still shaking about it now, but earlier today I was really shaking and I was having tears roll down my eyes, literally. I'm man enough to tell you, I had tears. I was like, no way. I'm sitting here in disbelief after I looked at everything and I was like, I'm still like, no way. This can't be. I'm double check. I triple check. I check. And I'm like, this is going down. If I can do it. We can do it is what I'm trying to say. It's not impossible. It is possible. It can be done. But because of personal reasons, I'm a California kid. I'm California married. That means if somebody comes in and waves some things for my companies and corporations and things like this, that can be a damaging thing. When they say freeze the accounts, we need to check on things. So therefore, I can't do anything until some of these things are done. They usually call them post-nuptial agreements kind of thing. Yeah, I need one right now. Because this thing right here, it better not blow up because of somebody inside the house. So I just want to make sure. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I had tears coming down today. That's right. Hey, that's right, boss. Two queens, exactly. That's exactly right. Exactly. Just got back from Ireland. Oh, the beautiful Ireland in pictures only do I know. Did the pictures do Ireland justice? I can only imagine the green lawn, because whatever. I mean, it's like in a cool environment, a little rainy. So I'm thinking it was probably pretty cool. That looked just like the pictures, those nice cliffs and stuff. And oh man, it gotta be beautiful. Tell me what it was in person, because I've never been to Ireland. Please tell me what it was like. I just want to hear from somebody that actually went there. No pictures, just went there on the ground to the small Ireland. Oh, I'm going to stay on for a little bit extra just to hear if she's going to let us know what happened in Ireland, what it was like, because I'm thinking it was nothing but cool stuff. That's what I'm really thinking, because this is old school. Old school is different than new school, I will admit. But is it so I want to hear about what happened. You know, I want to hear. Even Melanie speaks. She's saying, I want to hear some of this too. Wow. How long? Let's go. I never been to Ireland either. Yep, me neither. I never even thought about going because I was like, no, I'm not. As soon as I go north of France, I'm like, it's getting kind of chilly, getting kind of rainy. What the hell's going? No, I don't belong nowhere near here. I'm like, I don't really like 55-degree weather in the first place. I damn sure don't like 45. Let's go. Not as a norm. Not as a norm. So I want to know how it was. Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's see. Not at all. I'm in love. My Irish eyes are smiling. Oh, she had a good time. All right. So I want to hear. I want to hear, what does it look like, the pictures in real life? Does it look that way? Because when I went to Australia, it looked like the pictures in real life. I'm hoping it looks like. I'm pretty sure it does. I mean, come on. I'm pretty sure. I've seen thousands of photos of places in Ireland, and it all looked kind of nice. I mean, it's always cool. I'm pretty sure it was. So I'm glad you made it back safely. And so this is the time I tell you guys, I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support over all these years. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why you have to make the money so you can go to Ireland. Oh, 3 weeks. What? 3 weeks? Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Some anti. Uh-oh. I don't know what anti means. Hopefully that was a typo. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say another thing because I do have to say it. This little project that is, well, kind of on hold, but the little project that was being put together, because it's been on hold by default, personal matters, it actually made things stronger. It's almost like God said, who cares, Eric? We're going to help you out. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And I just want to let everybody know, a member of the SSN Nation is actually making it happen. Is going to be a part of this big bomb that's going to go off in 2026. It's going to be off the charts. Okay, let's see what she's got to say. Here we go. Let's go, let's go. She's saying, sis, very green, lush, yes, and the people were so very friendly to her sister. I love what I'm hearing right now. Oh, by the way, king and queens, I forgot. Do you guys know who ruled Europe back in the day? You know your history books? Just saying. Some people know. All right. I would imagine they did. Awesome. That's it. I'm glad you enjoyed some Ireland. I am too. I'm excited for you, Eric. Thank you so much, Melanie Speaks. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, this is something for the ages. This is something that no gatekeeper squad. They're about to be effed up. I'll just put it that way. It's about to be on a massive scale. It's a bomb's going to go off in the joint. It's going to be historical if we can get to the finish line. It's going to be historical. All right. I was surprised how youthful it was, especially in Dublin. Hey, I'm glad you got outside. You know, you've been around. You know, America, they rank America number one. Until you go outside of the USA and you go to other places, you're like, this is kind of cool. I like your attitude too. I like how y'all rolling over here. I can come back anytime. In fact, where's the bank? I need a bank account. I need a bank account over here. I am coming back. They're like, what? Yeah, man. Where's the bank at? I need to open up a bank account. I got all my stuff with me. Whatever they need, I need it. They're like right down there. Not Ireland, though, ladies and gentlemen. But that's what I do when I love a place. I'm like, where's the bank? I need a bank account. Let's go. We'll start with that. Then I'll worry about some real estate. All right, let's go. Okay, did you start your new biz yet, boss? We did a preliminary. You know how you put the thought process together, trying to get everything together, the engines and things like that. We started, but because I live in a community property state, I thought it was best that I might protect ourselves because we don't want anybody coming in waiving the divorce paperwork and then having your accounts frozen or your business accounts frozen because they have to look and find out how much value trademarks and IP is. You know how that's going to go. And so then they're going to go, oh, it's valued at X amount of dollars. I felt it was a preemptive strike. I thought we should make sure that that cannot happen. And since I thought that could not happen, it turned into bad, very bad. Because you ask somebody you're married to if you want a post nuptial, they look at you like, you trying to cut me out of something that you haven't created yet. No, I'm just trying to do anything if something does happen that we have no hold up on a problem with the corporation that's about to be built that's going to throw a bomb into the world. And it's not a literal bomb, it's a technological bomb where the gatekeepers are done. Just saying. That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. And I am very proud that an SSN Nation member is helping do the damn thing with me. The manifesto: elite, best in class, prestige. And we're going to kick their ass. That's the motto, ladies and gentlemen. Manifesto, by the way. Just so you guys understand. It's going down. Either way. All right. So we started off with a vengeance. Things was rolling. You know what's funny? Messing around with AI, right? And that's what actually triggered this whole thing. Because AI is tracking. And oh, by the way, I'm using free AI for this stuff. Because for the ages, people are going to say you copied somebody or you did something. I'll say, no, AI. I told AI what to do. And so basically, they're responding. Because basically, I start out everything like the thing: elite, best in class, prestige, and we're going to kick their ass. That's the motto. That's the manifesto. So that's how I start off every little free session. And so I started doing that. And then after I did what we call Death Star 1 is what I call it. That's our projects. Death Star 1, Death Star 2, Death Star 3, Death Star 4. I was up to 4. It's only on the planning stages, right? And so when I did Death Star 2, and I said what it was, and I got it all configured and things like this, all of a sudden, AI says, you know how at the end of the prompt, it'll ask you some questions? After I finished Death Star 2, it said, are you married? And I looked at the bottom of the thing and I was like, what the heck? I thought I actually clicked on some other screen by accident. So I'm sitting there looking like, am I married? Why would they ask me this? What the heck? So I said that once I realized it was actually the same, I didn't click on a screen by accident or something didn't switch. It was the actual same thing. I was like, okay, I'll play. Yes, I'm married. And then the thing said, well, what state? And I'm like, what? I was just getting ready to be like, okay, there's something wrong here because this is crazy. I put in California. And the thing said, hey, that's a community property state. You might want to think about what you're doing here. I was like, what? Oh, oh. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Really? Okay. Let me, I see what you're saying. Then I realized what it was meaning. And then after that, it went all downhill for me. Life changed. We haven't even made anything, and now having to say such things as, hey, I need you to sign some papers. So you sign off on everything, so you ain't got nothing to do with none of this. Just so in case you do want to do something later, I don't get stuff, bank accounts frozen, things like this happening, and embarrassed as well. An open population, being like Jeff Bezos, if this thing took off, and all of a sudden they go, well, you over millions and millions, which I wouldn't have minded, but I'm not going to give it to you. But the point is, the fact is, I don't need that to happen. We have trademarks, we have patents, we're going to have all kind of stuff, IPs, we're going to have masters, we're going to have publishing, we're going to have all kind of stuff. I can't have that stuff being held up and they rummaging through my accounts and doing all kind of crazy while they're saying we got to freeze that bank account, we got to freeze that bank account, we got to hold up here, we got to find out how much all these little IPs and trademarks and patents are worth so she can get a cut. I'm like, hold up, man. That's liability. That's a ticking time bomb where I come from. I don't like liabilities, especially when we're about to throw a bomb in the whole structure of some companies and some, I guess I could say, I don't even know if it's some companies. It's not actually companies. It's actually into three or four different Magnificent Seven companies. In fact, to put things more bluntly, the Magnificent Seven are all in trouble. Just say it that way. That is the bomb that I had tears running down my eyes today after I realized everything that I put together actually has a bomb in it. I did not even know it. It was just naturally how I was putting it together. Then it said, gave me some terms and it started saying things like, this is what you do, this is what you do. And I'm going, why are you using this terminology? I don't even know what you're talking about right now. I said, just stop right now. I'm talking with AI. Just stop right now. Put a pin in it. What you're describing, if I'm not mistaken, is what I already told you that we're doing. I said, you're going to have to explain what am I missing here, because this is what we're doing already and you're acting like this is something new. It came back with, you you you're right, it is what you already planned on doing, but look again. And I'm like looking again and I'm like, it's what I'm doing already. You're not doing anything new. And then it said, you have Death Star 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm like, I don't have no Death Star 3 and 4. I got a Death Star 3, but it has nothing to do with this. And I got a Death Star 2 that has nothing to do with this. So then I said, put a pin in all of this because this isn't making no sense. I already do what you're saying. And they said, yes. But now all those separate things you were doing, I put under one roof and nobody does it. And I said, oh, hold on now. Wait a minute. And they said, your formerly number 2 is now number Death Star 6. I said, oh no, don't play with me right now. Don't play with me right now. Because Death Star 2 was supposed to be a certain company name, 3 letters. You still have the same 3 letters. And they said, oh yeah, there's another business that has those same 3 letters. But it ain't that. And you're doing it already. But it's called this. I said, oh no, don't even. So I get to keep the other Death Star 2 is now Death Star 5. It said yes. I said, oh no. And then it gave me the whole thing. It says, look, Eric, it's your stuff, but this is how it is. I said, no, no. I start shaking. I have tears even almost coming out my eyes right now. Because if we do the damn thing, this will go down in infamy. And by the way, an SSN Nation member is actually going to be 90% probably, maybe 80% the reason, quite frankly. Actually, it's a give and take, so I shouldn't even say it's 80%. It's going to be like, whatever, 50-50. But the point is, we've got stuff that nobody's going to have, and we're going to take over. And in fact, AI said we would take over. In fact, I'm going to read something right now. I want to read something right now. This is first yesterday's. This is what AI did yesterday. When I, let me see it. Did I? Oh, I didn't even send it to. I didn't even send it to him. Oh, jeez. I better. Hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. I better send somebody something. This is what AI said yesterday. Oh no, I can't do it. Doggone it. It already took it. Ah, it already took it. Dang it. I copied it, and I just wanted you guys to hear what it said. And this was based on 2 days ago or yesterday. It was before what happened today. This is what it would say. Let me see if I can find it real quick, because this is exciting stuff. This is so exciting. If it's able to happen, it would be so awesome. This would change people's lives. I mean, it would be so awesome. We might not get there though, but we trying. Let me see if I can find it. Can I find it? Maybe. Yep, I can find it. Let me see. Oh, I know where it is. Hold on a second. I got it somewhere. I got it somewhere. Hold on. Hold on. I know where another spot is. Let me go. Oh, no. I don't know. I don't have it. Oh, I do have it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Remember when I had that manifesto, right? Well, I better not say. I better not say. I can't say. I can't say. Because I live in California. By the way, just so everybody knows, I found out something new. AI, if somebody uses AI, you can copy it. It's no IP for AI. The IP comes if somebody's talking underneath, like they're talking and there's AI, there's music and there's AI. The music part or the talking part could be copyright strikes. But AI itself, the images and anything created by AI, even the prompts you do with AI, those are not properties. They're nothing. So therefore, you can always use them. You just can't use the underlying stuff like music or talking or anything like that. Book readers or whatever, and then they throw an AI video while they're reading the book or something. The reading the book part, that's copyright infringement if you reuse it. But the image itself without the audio, that is free. Everybody can use it endlessly. Nobody owns it. You only own the actual stuff you can copyright, trademark, whatever. So that's why the AI stuff is prompts and all that. Those aren't, you can't trademark it. You can't do anything. All right. So basically, the lines were yesterday or the day before. It said, you are not XYZ company. You are a global whatever. And it said something like, you are going to take over X, Y, and Z. And then that's what was 2 days ago or yesterday. I can't remember. But now it has another message. The other message is more powerful than that one. And I got to give credit where credit is due. Only because I was talking about one thing that I was calling Death Star 1 and Death Star 2. I thought it was putting together Death Star 1 and Death Star 2, but the things they were saying wasn't matching up what Death Star 1 and 2 are. So it kept going down and down, going, you can do this, you can do that. And I'm like, this is not making any sense. What company are you talking about right now? I was like, what company are you talking about? I don't understand. Where's this money coming from that you're talking about right now? I'm not getting it. I'm not doing what you're saying. And then it said, you are doing what we're saying. And then I started rereading it and I said, you know what? This looks like my network thing. And then they go, oh, now you get it. I was like, what? No wonder it wasn't making sense, because Death Star 2 wasn't what your Death Star 2 is. Now I'm getting it. Okay, now it's my thing. But you call it something else. Now we're getting it. And I said, what's these other modules then you're talking about? They're like, that's all part of it. You already do it. You call it XYZ company. But we then juggled this back into a package for you. I'm like, oh no, don't, no, no. Like I said, I have tears in my eyes right now. It's almost tearing up about this. This is crazy. SSN Nation takeover. It didn't happen in 2024, but it's going to happen in 2027 or 2026 or 2028. Whenever it happens, it's going down. Nobody's going to stop this. Oh, wow, that's good to know. Exactly. I'm glad you had a great time. I got to check out of here. It's almost 2 hours. We'll be talking about this for ages to come, hopefully. If God helps us, it will happen. If it doesn't happen, well, It was just a nice ride and a nice thought, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I can tell you. It's gonna be, but it's too big. It's too big, really. It's really too big. It's really too big. It changes. It changes some things that is wrong in the world, big time, big time. And that's why it's a travesty that it may not happen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up because now I'm getting sad again. All right, let's go. So, once again, just be safe out here, will you please? The two queens came in the house. We had the kings and the queens in the house tonight. Let's make it happen again on Friday night at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully, I'll see you there. And just make sure you stay safe out here because there's a lot of people going through it and you never know what somebody else is going through. So just try to stay safe out here because it's going to get a bumpy ride. Is going to happen sometime in the next year and a half. So just make sure you guys pay attention, your fronts, your backs, your sixes. Just will make sure that you stay calm yourself because things can escalate pretty fast when people have a little distress, when people have a little insecurities. Anything can happen. So just stay safe out here, all right? And no matter what you do, just make sure. Have a blessed night as well as Melanie. Make sure you keep your head up. Keep moving.